Good morning, everyone. It's Anita Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I am out with my dahlias, and I hope you're enjoying the view because I certainly have and am. And I have to say that today, my contemplative time has been all about memory. And this is an area I work with regularly too. And of course, it's about creating our memories as we go, but also recognizing our mind is working. And for many people, it's working a little bit more than it should or is healthy, let's say. And oftentimes, people are working with people that are part of their families that are also noticing changes in memories and noticing, or their memory, and noticing that this is happening can create some new experiences for ourselves too, and maybe some new learning. And certainly, in terms of helping people who are having memory loss concerns, is certainly something that I work with. But I also want to make sure that people are thinking about how to prevent this or concerns with this over a lifetime, I guess. In terms of our own lives, we're all affected, right? So we're all using our minds a lot more than maybe we used to, although sometimes you might wonder if people are really using their minds. So I want to start with a quote by Edgar Allan Poe. And this quote says, "To observe attentively is to remember distinctly. To observe attentively is to remember distinctly." Now, I would love for you to think about this, that if you are observing attentively, you do remember distinctly. And some people have a skill of doing this. I think that all of us have things that our mind focuses in on and really pays attention to. And that's what we actually remember in clear detail. And when we're kind of fuzzy, maybe we're not listening so clearly, maybe we're caught up in our own thoughts, we don't remember distinctly. And I thought this was a very important concept to help you, because in terms of mindfulness, that's half of the skill of mindfulness, is to observe attentively. Then I came across another quotation which kind of reminds me of people with whether Alzheimer's disease or other memory loss, that again, this can start as early as late 40s, early 50s, oftentimes in 60s, where people are forgetting things and they forget where they put their keys, or they forget where they're going, or forget what they were going to shop for. And all of these things can be well within normal, and then sometimes it's a little bit more than normal. So I came across this quotation which says, "Life goes on whether you choose to life goes on whether you choose to move on and take a chance on the unknown, or stay behind, locked in the past, thinking of what could have been." So I want to say that again. Life goes on whether you choose to move on and take a chance in the unknown, or stay behind, locked in the past, thinking of what could have been. And this, you would think, oh, what does this have to do with this? Well, literally, when people are losing memory, oftentimes they're thinking about past things, and this happens for so many people in our day-to-day lives, right? So brain retraining really encourages people to focus on what is happening now. Now, remembering memories of the past that are uplifting and positive are fantastic habits to get into, because you can imagine that if you were going through, and I hope you do not, but if you are going through a time where you're noticing some memory loss, your mind will go into the trained patterns. And if your trained pattern is to remember things that are not right, you will do the same thing as you're losing memory. Now, if you get into a spot of training the brain about what is right, or what you can create that is right now, and get into these habits, you will move your brain into a healthier pattern throughout your life. So even for right now, you'll have a better experience, and throughout your life, you'll have a better experience. So then I came across another quote by Samuel Johnson, which is very similar to the Edgar Allan Poe quote. And this says, "The true art of memory is the act of attention." The true art of memory is the art of attention. Art of attention. So art of memory, art of attention. So interesting that it is an art. This is a skill that needs to be developed and can be. And a lot of people take it for granted. I'll remember that. And sometimes they think back and say, well, where was I? What were we doing? I remember really enjoying it, but I don't remember what happened. And it's until someone else reminds them, and then they remember. And if you can get into a pattern of mindfulness, which I would love to train you with if you ever need my help, but get into this pattern of understanding details as you're going along, because the details, the important details, the joyful details, the uplifting details are those that can stay with you. And that is what I would wish for everyone. Finally, I want to end with a great quotation I came across by Anita Loos. And this quotation said, "Memory is more indelible than ink." Memory is more indelible than ink. This means that you can write things down, and that certainly helps memory. But in terms of your memory, it's more lasting than ink. So remember that as people are aging, and if you are aging, we're all aging, remember that how you are training your memory is going to stay with you. And I wish you a fantastic day of thinking about how you are remembering things. Maybe take 5 minutes after this video and think about a memory that comes up for you regularly. And do you think about the things that are good or the things that are not so good? I'd love for you to think and reflect on that for 5 minutes, and I hope it leads to some fantastic contemplative time about some positive memories. And I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.